Being a nice guy isn't enough. I know, right? What a way to start. But listen, by nice, I mean the gentleman, the polite guy, the dignified, respectful, good member of the community, all of those things. But those things on their own are not enough if and only if you want to be a provider and a leader of your family. Yes, you'll be a nice guy and people will like you and some would even confide in you. But if you don't become competent at something, it will be difficult to be a provider for yourself and let alone your family. So imagine you had a daughter. That's your world. You'd harm anyone who violates. You died for her. Would you want her to marry a man who can't take care of her financially? Yeah, the emotion is good. This is what we're talking about. This is why we're here, being vulnerable, being in touch with emotions. But would you want your daughter to be with someone who can't take care of her financially? I don't think so. Because if your daughter gets pregnant, she can't work at the same time, yeah? So she's gonna need to be the primary caregiver for your granddaughter or your grandson. And that man who is with her needs to make sure that she has the least stress possible. So he's going to have to provide. And if you can't do that, you as the father will have to make sure that she's not under pressure. So you're gonna have to chip in as well, of course. So now you have to ask yourself, if you meet the woman of your dreams, do you honestly believe that she would be okay with the fact that when she gets pregnant, she will also have to work? That you won't be able to look after her and your child? Whoa. Okay, rewind. Let's say maybe that's too intense for you and you're not even thinking about children right now. Okay, fair. Do you think that she's going to be okay with the fact that you avoid going to certain places because you can't afford it? And you avoid doing certain things because you can't afford it? Of course, shout out to my women out there who help their men get their finances in order. Not to say anyone should be a finished product, but you as a man, let's just for a second forget about, oh, she's a gold digger, she's looking for my money, blah, blah. No, you as a man, as an adult man, do you think it's okay to be incapable of managing your finances? Like a little boy who still needs mommy or daddy to give them pocket money? Absolutely not. She won't even breathe in your direction, mate. Now, don't get me wrong. People run into financial trouble. We may need help here and there. That's normal. But what's not good is being okay with that and constantly complaining about not having enough money, but not finding any solutions. Look, it doesn't matter what you want to be. For instance, if you want to be a mechanic, right? Be the best mechanic in your town, in your city, in your country even. Just be that guy in your field. Provide value, so that people drive from other cities so that you can fix their car. Because when you fix it, you fix that car so well that it even drives better than before it broke down. Just be that person in your field, whatever it is. But before that happens, there are some behaviors that you're gonna need to establish. For example, how much time do you spend improving that skill or in that field? Are you fully immersed in it? Are you proud of it? Is that what you feel you do better than anyone else? And if you want money, can you currently manage the little that you have? Are you always out of money the week before payday? Do you still go clubbing and partying like you did at uni, but you're almost 30? What do you spend your money on? Do you have 10 pairs of fresh trainers, proper fresh, but you don't even have a healthy savings account? Do you have drinks at the pub with the lads frequently, but you don't even have washing powder or iron for your own clothes? Are you always out here looking fresh, but your house is a mess? Do you even make your bed when you wake up? Oh, I know, right? That's way too many questions. But if you can answer most of those questions confidently and proudly, then congratulations. But if not, then you have some work to do. Forget about these quick rich schemes. Getting rich isn't easy and it's not quick, okay? Aim to manage your money because money matters. It always has and it always will. The reason I always bring up emotions and the reason why I'm talking about this today is because if you can manage your emotions you can manage money. But if you can't manage your emotions, you'll never be able to manage money. I think Warren Buffett said that. And I think because you'll be overspending because you're either sad or excited or you don't want to feel left out. So you're spending the money you don't have to impress the people that don't even like you, right? Or you'll be overindulging in your vices, like drinking, smoking, etc., without being able to manage those emotions. Because everything is connected to each other. How do you expect to maintain healthy relationships that will help you go further in life when you can't manage your emotions? Emotions are important. I know I bang on about them so much, but they are important. And us as men, we need to figure out how to do that, how to manage our emotions and how to communicate our emotions. Because if you figure that out, it spills into every other avenue of your life. But you also have to remember, emotions on their own are not enough, right? A lot of things are connected, and you're going to have to work on yourself like it's a full-time job. So the reason why I say money matters is because there are some things that will not be accessible to you if you don't have it. For example, I started therapy. I'm intelligent, I know that, right? And that's why I realized that there are some things that I will not be able to figure out by myself. I just need someone who is a professional to help me articulate things in my mind and deal with my traumas, etc. I can watch as many YouTube videos as I want and I can read books, but at some point I need a professional to help me dig deeper and reach epiphanies and breakthroughs I wouldn't have had on my own. And believe me, there are things that will hold you back from progressing because you haven't dealt with those traumas. So when I started going to therapy, I was bragging to my therapist about, how I've been doing a lot of work on myself. And I think it was the second session. It was one of those sessions, I'm just sat there, obviously crying my eyes out. And she just made a statement. She said, "You haven't been doing the work," right? And obviously she acknowledged my efforts. And of course, she continues to do so. But that showed me that yes, you can do some things on your own, but you need a professional, someone who does that for a living to help you dig deeper, to go deeper. And the reason that I mentioned this is mainly because of accessibility, like I said. And you wouldn't be able to do that if you don't have enough money for yourself. You need to invest in yourself. I also recently got a life coach, money, but you have to invest in yourself. If you don't have enough money, figure out how to get more money. Do you need to do a part-time job and a full-time job at the same time? Or do you need a new job that's going to pay you better? Do you need to work overtime? Because again, guess what? Money does matter. And also, speaking of my life coach, I mentioned that there's some behaviors that one needs to establish before moving forward. Whether it's a life coach, mentor, or financial advisor or financial coach, they will help you figure out what you need to build for yourself to move forward. And they don't have the answers for you because you have the answers. So they'll just help you realize that so you can move forward. And I think that's the same thing that I always say here, that whatever anyone says, you have to take it with a pinch of salt and apply it to your life and do what works for you. Find out what works for you, not what worked for someone else. Yes, that could be the blueprint of how they got to where they are and that's where you're trying to get to. But their journey is not going to be your journey because life is unique. We are unique human beings and we need to embrace life just like that and know that you have the answers, not anyone else. And then you build yourself a life that you want. So, for the last time, money does matter. And whoever has told you otherwise has been lying to you. But don't kill yourself for money. No one is asking you to overperform and just burn out and just be unhealthy, money. No. Do what you enjoy. Provide value. And the money will come. So a few years back, I went to Korea and I went to a monastery and spent the whole day with some monks. And one monk told me something I'll never forget. He said, "Follow your curiosity." That is so beautiful. And now I am translating it into my life as do things that come easy to you. And you have no issues doing that all day, every day, because it will be effortless. It wouldn't even feel like you're working because you're curious about it and you genuinely enjoy it. My last question among so many that I've asked already on this episode is, what is your relationship with money? What is it? Do you believe that money is the root of all evil? That people with money are dodgy and those are the kind of people who step over others to get success? Or you can reframe your mindset with money and ask yourself, is the lack of money the root of all evil? I'm currently working on my relationship with money because I know there are some gaps, major knowledge gaps that I need to fill in regards to what to do with the money once you get it. You can't just put all of it in the bank. You need to invest in things that will bring in more money or that will double it, right? But anyway, this is not a financial podcast. So I will leave you with this. Figure out where you are right now, establish where you want to go, and realistically and honestly to yourself about your abilities, and then do your best to fill the gaps in the middle. Now, money is energy, so here are a few affirmations for the day, for the week, for the month, or for life. Tell yourself, I allow myself to receive money. I attract money happily in my life. I am very generous with my money. One more time. I allow myself to receive money. I attract money happily in my life. I am very generous with my money. And then be like Snoop Dogg and thank yourself for working hard.